And also, do you care for? Oh, you have one. If you care for bottled water.
Oh yeah.
You got more.
I got one.
Yes.
So what were we talking about?
So I guess the recap was this is John Solomon with
Ananda Walker.
Indeed, and this conversation came across with Ananda and I just talking, and we're like, you know what? Do you mind if I pick your mind? Because she's into life coaching, and not just about one part of the body, but it's like the entire entity of it. And then I was like, you know, we're doing the exact same thing. So because of that, we started talking, and then it led to this question. It's like the flow, and then I just started discussing on how I feel a block in my flow, and then stopping back, and then ask straight to the point.
Right. So I just asked what was the block, and we went from there. And what was the last question we were on? How would you scale it? That's what inspired the video. Because you were talking about how you like to do one-on-one interactions with people, and a way to scale that would be to make a video of it and then put it out on the YouTube or on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, such that more volume of people could actually watch it and many could learn from the same thing. And that is the scaling of it.
So you think of scaling as
teach multiple.
Yeah, multiplying it. So.
Now that's awesome.
So what would be the next thing that you could do?
Okay, so the first question was what was in the way, which was finances. And then we got clear. It's like I get clear. I have $100,000. That's what I'm striving for and the goal. And then my block, it was also like how fast? What's time? Is time stopping the flow? And time was stopping the flow. So taking time out the equation, what is necessary to have everything happen? Your question is,
what would be the next step?
To compound and expand. Not stepping out of this moment is giving it to people, like allowing people to have access to it, and then hearing their questions, because their questions also, like, we learn from their questions. And so it becomes learning and growing. That it really is the next step, because that's always the next step. Like, to do better, let's become better.
And it's always about the quality of the questions that you ask, because with every question there's an answer.
So then what should be the question? What question am I not asking that I don't even know I need to ask? What answer do I need that I don't even know I need?
Now you're coaching yourself.
Yeah, because that one is like, because really it's all in unknown. Because everything I've known so far, I've done.
It's all in the unknown.
Yeah,
that's why you take what you have already and ask what is the next step that you could take.
Okay.
So
this is where I like
if you
to
have
think
like a map
paper.
with where you're at already. We're gonna get out some paper.
Yes, a map of what I have. Red book? I think it's a red book. Red book. I hope it's red book. It should be. Yes, it is this book. Fantastic.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic. So, this is scaling it, because literally this was one of those, I had a deadline to tell myself what needed to be done, and I could give you the whole bird's eye view of it.
Yeah, oh, that's awesome.
And then there's a bigger roadmap right here. This is like,
okay.
Yeah. That's cool. And pen and paper, if pen is needed.
Okay, so you've got this fluidflow.com, that's your website?
Yes.
Okay, and then you've got all these other things that are linking back to it?
Yep.
Okay.
And then fluidflow.com gets to link to these two, just so others know how to go through that channel.
Okay, cool. So are these like social media platforms, or?
Okay, let me read it to you. So fluidflow.com, YT is YouTube.
Okay.
And then IG's Instagram. And then Facebook group, private group, that's FBP. And then I was thinking MMC, which is the course. Like, it's a platform I have for the course. Remember how I said, like, I need all these entities to, like, kind of flow, web and flow, and then it could self-generate itself. Okay,
so then the question would be, okay, which one would you prioritize? Which one do you like doing the most?
Like doing none of these. Like you said, the most? Because the way we answer the question, right, what is it that I like doing the most, is actually getting myself to my exhaustion point. Like, if you ask that, like, that's training. That looks like training. But, like, that's not these. But for me, though, that is when I'm in my fluid flow. You know what I mean? Okay, so, but you were talking about one-on-one training. Yeah. Okay. I mean, the other option is you could hire somebody to do these things for you. What? I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
well, focus on, I don't think it, yeah, generate groups to train people. Like, anyways, but yes, that is a thought.
Okay.
So, I'm thinking too fast. You're going, but go ahead. I'm listening to everything you have to say.
Okay. So, generating an in-person group?
Yeah, that was the physical, as I discussed with you earlier.
All right, so what's the next step that you need to take with that? And you want to think about it in terms of like SMART goals. So, are you familiar with SMART goals? All right, so it's S-M-A-R-T, and then you can add the ER on there. I like that a lot too because it allows you to modify your goals. So S stands for specific, means you're shooting for a specific goal.
Sorry, it's just.
Should I wait? Okay. Specific, measurable, which means like, you could say that you want to lose like 5 pounds, but it's better to say that you're going to go to the gym for an hour 3 days a week, because that's something that you can actually achieve. Everybody's body chemistry is a little different, so
trackable type of thing.
Yeah, measurable, achievable. So it's something that's within your grasp right now. You don't want to shoot too far because then you can get discouraged.
Okay.
Time sensitive. And that really helps your subconscious mind to work towards hitting the goal at the right time, the time that you set it.
Okay. Right.
And then E, so for smarter goals, the E would be evaluate. So you come back to this goal at some point in the future and go, okay, how close did I get to hitting everything like I wanted to? And what could I do? And then the R for review. Then you review that and go, okay, how can I modify my goals moving forward so that I can perform more optimally? So that's what you want to kind of keep in mind when you're figuring out the next step here. So for generating a group to train people, are they training in person? Do you have a place?
Not yet. That's for me. That's one of my what's next. I'm literally just earlier today. I was like, where can I go?
Okay, so we can use that as a smarter goal breakdown. So if you need a place, what's something? How would you make that? Okay, so specific.
It looks like paying rent to a place or owning a place. But I really want to own. That's my ideal goal. Own the whole place. Yeah.
Okay. So owning a place. But before owning a place, there's steps before that.
I have to scout. Well, I don't have to scout. It could come to me. But nonetheless, though, a place I get to scout for the environment. Like, what do I want? And I know what I want the environment to be like and look like. Okay. Is that part of it too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So
the next would be scouting.
Yeah.
Scout for a place. Location type of thing.
Totally. So you can write that down. And so, how many places will you look at?
Ideally one. Ideally. That's the one!
I don't know about you, but I always like to look at a few things, and then you know when you step into the one that's meant for you. You just know.
Yeah, but sometimes you could walk into the one you just know.
That's true.
But I get what you mean though, because it's like in this realm of numbers, like there's always like the 1 out of 10, or you got to do something 10 times, and then the 1 time is like the best. But I get what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a good 10 to 20. I wouldn't feel exhausted. 100 if I needed to. You see what I mean?
Okay.
So I don't know what number.
Well, then let's make it achievable.
Yeah.
That's the A part.
Yeah.
So how
10 to 20.
many is realistic? In like
10? I've never seen 10. Today I've seen 2. Today in one day I've seen 2.
Okay, so 10 is realistic.
Yeah.
And how long are you going to give yourself to see 10 places?
One week. I can make it happen between Monday and Saturday.
Definitely going to be calling you next week to see if you did this.
Yeah. Monday through Saturday. Not if I do this, when I do this, and how did I do this. That's what you're going to find out.
That's the review part, though.
Yeah.
That's where the coach comes in handy. Because they go, okay, you set these goals, and you hit this, so what happened? What happened between here and here, and what can we do to work on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got time sensitive. Yep, we got all everything that we can have so far. We have for this one step.
Yeah. 10 places. And then the other is like, I'm not even worried about that because it's like the universe literally has like, how are you going to finance this, John? Don't worry. I'll figure this out for you. That's the kind of answer I'm getting from the universe when I just check it out. You know, I'm doing, by the way, this is not like a personal vendetta of mine. It's like one of those being of service to give back. Like, how can I be of contribution? Let me do God's work. So the universal work is like, all right, universe, since I'm doing your work here, you gotta finance this. Right. You know, so, but it feels like my response, don't worry about that. Just like you said, you got that good feeling. I'm like, don't worry, so I'm not worried. But I still get to.
It's like you said with yours, so fluid flow. You just follow the flow. It'll take you where you need to go.
Exactly. So that's what's up. So 2 a day. That sets me up for winning. And I gotta call at least 2 a day to be able to schedule a place. I gotta call at least 5.
Okay. And then what are some of the things that you're looking for in a place?
Space. It doesn't have to be exact, but ideal space right now because like 20 to 40 feet, 20 by 40 feet, that would allow for like a larger volume amount of people and spacing to the point where it's like space is like energy. Right. And then pads on the floor so people could fall and not get hurt. And the walls get to be decorated, like however so choose. I don't really know. But then I would also like weights, like and resistance, like tools, so to speak, right? Okay. Items that we could use to best serve us. Like it's gonna change from moment to moment. There's like already a list. Like, I have a list of let's say 10. 2 years from now, that 10 will be doubled. You know what I mean? So let's just label them as tools, right? And then people.
What about the location in relationship in the city?
Somewhere safe and easy to get to, like right off of 95, whereas like people, wherever they are, they just come and like within 2 minutes they arrive there, they're there, and then when they gotta go, 2 minutes back on the interstate. I use the word interstate because it could be anywhere, but interstate is best because people love that.
And what other amenities would you want to have nearby?
Amenities, bathroom and food.
Well, we're assuming there's going to be a bathroom at the place.
Yeah, exactly. You said I wanted, so that's what I wanted. Yes. Yeah.
Are there any other businesses that cohabitate well with what you're wanting to do that would attract clients that? I'm
sure there is. Yeah, because the dojo, the dojo looks different for me. Some people like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, they'll be like on the mat. And then for like some people that do karate, I guess for them that's the dojo, right? But then anyways, there's like a school for some other people too. It's like, yes, I see it, and it also depends how that business runs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm thinking like, what kind of things do people who go to a dojo eat, and like, do they go to the gym as well, or do they like the spa or something like that? You know what I mean? Overall, they see themselves wanting to be healthy, like eat healthy, and not just eat healthy, right? The gym would be nice because that's also another incentive for them to, that's another place I can go push myself when I'm not here. So yeah, and food, like I already said that, clean food. Like organic or something.
Yes, it's like that. Like I like to say, straight from the earth, because that is what's best,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the pool, not necessary. Spa, because of the gym I go to, there's like a sauna there. I like going in there just because of like there's a little extra it does that the other places don't do. I like that. Awesome. So I'm even gonna put that on there. That's the satisfy with extra, like the going the extra mile type of thing. Yeah. Cool.
Well, you definitely got some homework.
I feel like this is the homework, like the fact that my mind can conceive of it now. I'm more clear on the path. Like it's easier to find something when you know what you're looking for. Yeah.
So when you think about the money that you would need to rent or own a space like this, I guess how do you feel about receiving the money?
How do I feel about receiving the money? At first, my old habit, not good.
Okay.
Blocked, right? Now it's just like I'm actually excited because I could finally do these things to better society, better myself, better mankind.
Nice.
That's exciting.
Awesome.
So it has me excited.
How do you feel about paying the rent?
The rent? I guess it'll pay itself.
Yeah.
Like for me to serve those people, those same people will be of contribution. Before I get $1 in my pocket, it's priority for me that the whole place is taken care of. So paying the rent is like, it won't even, $1 won't have to come from my pocket. So it'll self-sustain. That is the goal. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah.
Self-sustaining. Awesome.
Yeah. And right now, my
Hello.
Hey.
Hi,
Nice to
how are
meet you.
you?
Good.
Yes, I'm Mom John. Do you know? How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Okay, what is your name?
Ananda.
Okay.
And what is your name?
I told her my name already.
Mom John.
Okay, I'm Mrs. Sarah.
That is what it is. That is all.
Okay, I'm Mrs. Sarah.
Okay. I'm sorry, what?
Mrs. Sarah.
Sarah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you. You heading out?
Yes, I'm going to work.
Oh, okay. Have fun. Awesome.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Be safe. Be safe.
Thank you.
Sweet. So that's 1 week's worth of stuff.
That's 1 week's worth of stuff?
That's what you said. You would do it in 1 week.
No, go through the 10 places
Mm-hmm.
and then rent. Oh yeah, okay. Because I was thinking ahead too. For the rent to be self-sustaining, have that done all in a week.
Oh no,
Like,
that's gonna
that's what threw me off for a second when you said,
yeah.
But that's a good challenge though.
But you see how this works. Then you have one step that you're gonna take, and like each step builds to the bigger vision that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So like next week, you sit down and do the same thing. Okay, so we looked at these places. These ones hit the criteria, these ones didn't, and then you have how much it costs to pay the rent and different things to calculate into the next goal that you're gonna set.
Under 2K ideally. Like that's everything included, like electrical, water.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Awesome.
And then you had said something before. It's like have other people do those things. I was
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
about that, right? Because I've been looking on Fiverr. It's really cost effective. Like basic cost effective, yeah. As in the amount I put out, it's really effective. I could pay like $35-$40 for $150 for like the month, which equates to like anyway. So enough hours for me to pay someone to handle my like Instagram and Facebook group for me, like the posting on that. And there's an app I could purchase like to put out content at specific time intervals.
Oh yeah.
Which is one of those habits I did not like to build. I'm like, I gotta post every day at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Nah.
No. Actually, I pre-schedule all my posts.
What? How?
Well, I'll have to bust out a computer and I'll show you. But
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I love. You see, that's what I love to learn because I'm like, I love making content, but the part where it goes down to sitting, editing the videos, like I've gotten better at it, but I don't like to spend that time. And then at the same time, I get to go think about what words am I gonna caption this with? Yeah, you know, I'm like that's extra. And then there are some like days or hours that I'm in the mode for that. I could spend literally 2 hours and create like a month worth of content.
Yeah.
So that's why I like the future posting would be nice.
Well, I think this is a good spot to like wrap up the video.
Okay.
You can keep talking after if you want.
Understood. Wait. So the reason before I would do this though, the reason I did break this up, I was just like, you had asked that question. I'm like, what was that question leading though? You know, like, I could pay people to run this for me.
Right.
And if I did pay people to run this for me, with the questions, like, this is where my mind has a blockade. So because before we do this, I'm like, Ellie, if you could help me just break through, just so I could see the other side, then it'll be easier for me to see what you're pointing me to, right? So, yes, I have people paying. I'm paying people to do this for me. It looks like it's gonna cost me under $200 a month to produce like YouTube videos, and then I have to purchase. I don't know how much the future posting app or whatever service is gonna be, but I still underestimate around 200, right? But yeah, that's for the month. So I can have this self-sustaining at under $200.
Okay.
So it's like what now? Is there next? How do I set it up? Should I set it up now? Those are the kind of questions that just like.
Okay, so one of the things that gets people is they're with money and spending money is that they get stuck in a certain mindset that I can't afford to spend beyond this limit because this is where I'm at. But they don't realize that if you make a little bit of an investment, you can jump past that and then you'll have more. So it's just a matter of doing some math. And then
make the investment.
And just looking at it and recognizing that the emotional response and then the logical response don't add up. Because when it comes to marketing, it's just a numbers game. And that's a whole nother thing to work on. Because you want to track like every single thing that you try and see which one is the most profitable coming back.
Okay.
And that also really depends on how, like, what service you're going to provide and how your customers are going to receive that. Lots more questions, but I think this is probably a good spot to
Fantastic. Understood.
But awesome. Thank you for having me.
Indeed. Thank you for having me too.